Hey guys, Missouri Kid. I'm here to give my bowl picks. Sorry I've been around the last couple week. I'm in the middle of finals for my school. It's the end of my semester, so after tomorrow I'll be making a couple more videos concerning more bowl games. But today I just want to give my bowl picks. Go through each game. It won't take too long. In the Gildan, New Mexico Bowl, Washington State versus Colorado State. I'm gonna have to go with Washington State there because I like the way Connor Holiday's playing, and he just had the way he's been throwing the ball around. I think Colorado State doesn't have there's going to be some points, but I just don't think Colorado State's going to do very well. In the Las Vegas Bowl, Fresno State versus USC. The big question is USC going to come out motivated after Ed Ogeron was not retained as head coach. I'm going to say no. I think Derek Carr throws it all over the place, and Fresno State wins. In the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, San Diego State came on late in the year. Buffalo saw them play Ohio State. I know Khalil Mack is a fantastic player, so because of him, I'm going to have to go with Buffalo in the game. In the New Orleans Bowl, we have Tulane versus Louisiana Lafayette. I don't know much about either team. I know Louisiana Lafayette last year came like a block punt away from beating Florida, so it's in the Superdome. Both teams are in Louisiana. It should be a good game. I'm going to go with Louisiana Lafayette. St. Petersburg Bowl, Ohio versus East Carolina. I know Ohio's got a great quarterback in Tyler Settleton, but I'm going to have to go with East Carolina after I watched them play UNC, and they just decimated them, and it looked pretty easy doing it. Sheraton, Hawaii, Boise State versus Oregon State. You always want to go with Boise State, but I'll have to go with Oregon State with Robert Woods, Sean Mannion. I think they're going to go out with a bang this year. Poinsettia, Utah State versus Northern Illinois. Utah State lost their quarterback earlier in the year, and Chucky Keaton, but came back to have a very solid year. Going up against Northern Illinois, disappointed they aren't in the MAC championship, or not in the BCS game after losing in the MAC championship. And I think Northern Illinois is going to come out strong. Jordan Lynch won't let them lose, and I think Northern Illinois wins a tight one and a surprisingly exciting game. Military Bowl, Marshall versus Maryland. Rakeem Cato, I don't know how to pronounce it. Very good quarterback from Marshall. Maryland lost their wide receiver. I know they lost their wide receiver core. I know they had a very talented wide receiver. I'm sorry I can't remember his name. But I'm going to have to go with Marshall. And, again, another very high-scoring game. Surprisingly a good matchup. Syracuse versus Minnesota in the Texas Bowl. I'm going to go with Minnesota. I feel like their defense, and they've been playing hard for Jerry Kill ever since he went down. So I have to go with Minnesota here. The Fight Hunger Bowl, we have BYU versus Washington, and I'm going to go with Washington. Keith Price, Austin Safari Jenkins, and Bishop Sankey, I think, will get the job done against a very good BYU defense led by Kyle Van Noy. I just don't know if Tyson Hill and the BYU offense can get enough points to match Washington. In the Pinstripe Bowl, Rutgers versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame, coming off a year where they're in the national championship, is now in a very low-profile bowl against a okay, I guess, AAC team. So I'm going to have to go with Notre Dame. I know Rutgers beat Arkansas earlier in the year, but I'm going to have to go Notre Dame winning that one pretty handily. Belk Bowl, Cincinnati, North Carolina. I know Cincinnati's been playing pretty well lately, but I think North Carolina's going to come out strong, especially concerning tight ends going to the NFL. Fuck, Edson, something like that. I'm sorry, I knew his name going into this video and I just forgot. And I think they're going to come out strong, and they're going to want the couple seniors they have that are really talented. They're not even seniors, but guys that are going to the draft will want to make a strong statement. Russell Athletic, Miami versus Louisville. Teddy Bridgewater versus Stephen Morris. I'm going to have to go with Bridgewater every day of the week. I think Louisville wins in another pretty entertaining game. Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl, Michigan versus Kansas State. Kansas State really came on toward the end of the year with Daniel Sims and Jake Waters both playing quarterback. So I'm going to have to go with them. Michigan struggled all year, was inconsistent, played a great game against Ohio State, gave a valiant effort, but ultimately fell short. But because of the inconsistencies they have, especially on offense, I'm going to have to go with Kansas State. Bell Helicopter Armed Forces Bowl, Middle Tennessee versus Navy. Middle Tennessee got robbed of a bowl game last year. They went 8-4 like this year, but were chosen over for like some 6-6 team. I think it was Georgia Tech actually. Navy strong triple option attack. What you got to do at a military force academy. So I'm going to go with Navy, but I think Middle Tennessee puts up a good fight. We got the Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl, Ole Miss versus Georgia Tech. And I think this could be a very, very, very fun game to watch. A lot of points could be scored with Bo Wallace, Vad Lee, triple option Georgia Tech, spread it out in a young Ole Miss team. If I had to pick right now, I'll pick Georgia Tech just because of the experience they have. Paul Johnson, I think, has a pretty good record in bowl games, and last year, pulling off against beating USC, and so I think they're gonna come out motivated. And I think they're gonna win pretty handily, or not handily. They're gonna win a pretty good game. The Alamo Bowl, Oregon versus Texas. If Oregon brings it, Texas has no shot. But I don't know if Oregon's gonna bring it. So I'm gonna go with Oregon, but I'm really nervous about that one, especially if I was doing Bowl Mania, because when I do that, I don't know how I'm going to put that in confidence, because I don't know if Oregon's going to bring it after the disappointing year they've had, which 2 losses. I'm sorry, guys. Holiday Bowl, Arizona State versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech lost their last 5 games. Arizona State's on a roll. They lost to Stanford, but they've been playing really good football. I'm going to have to go with Arizona State. Tyler Kelly. I saw Arizona State last year from Mizzou. They beat them. But I liked what I saw from Taylor Kelly. He led his team back from like 24-7 down and almost pulled him back. So I don't know if Marion Grice is going to play in the game, but if he does, then it could be a blowout, because Tech's defense is awful. The V100 Bowl, Arizona versus Boston College. Andre Williams will be the story of this game. Andre Williams versus Kadeem Carey. That is a matchup everyone wants to see between 2 very strong physical backs. I can't wait to watch it. For picking this game, I'm going to have to go with Arizona, because B.J. Sanker's been playing pretty good QB, and he looked really good against Oregon. So with a month to prepare, I think he'll play pretty well against Boston College. Virginia Tech versus UCLA. Virginia Tech is probably the most inconsistent team in the country outside of Michigan. Logan Thomas can have those games where he looks like a top 5 overall draft pick, and then he has some games where he looks like, why are you playing quarterback? UCLA, a very good team, underachieved quite a bit with Brett Hundley. Miles Jack, though, is going to be a key to this game, and I think UCLA wins because of Miles Jack. Watch out for him next year in the Heisman polls, because he does play running back and linebacker. He does a pretty good job at linebacker and running back, especially in the game against Arizona. I missed one. Liberty Rice versus Mississippi State. Rice, of course, winning the Conference USA Championship. Mississippi State beating Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl. Dak Prescott's healthy. I think Mississippi State's going to win, but Rice will give them a challenge. They're a very talented team, and I can't remember their coach's name, but he's a very good coach. Then we go to the Chick-fil-A Bowl, Duke versus A&M. Personally, I hate Duke. I can't stand them, but you can't help but be like, good for you guys. You guys had a great season, and but it's gonna suck how it ends with 2 horrible losses. I think A&M's gonna blow the crap out of Duke, and not because Duke won't play hard, but A&M's just so much more talented, and I think Manziel's really, really gonna want to push because he wants to go to the draft. Shit, this is kind of longer than I thought it'd be. The Gator Bowl, Nebraska versus Georgia, a rematch of last year's, I think it was the Outback Bowl, or Capital One Bowl, excuse me. Again, I'm going to have to go with Georgia. Hunter Mason in the second half looked really good against Georgia Tech, and after watching highlights. And I'm going to have to go with them. Nebraska, another really inconsistent team. Big Ten has a lot of them this year. Todd Gurley leads Georgia to a win. UNLV versus North Texas. Going with the Running Rebels. No reason here. I kind of flipped the coin. Wisconsin versus South Carolina. 2 physical running games. Of course, led by South Carolina's Mike Davis, and Wisconsin has 2 very talented running backs. The key is going to be quarterback play. Connor Shaw versus Joel Stave, and Bruce Ellington versus Jared Eberditis. In the wide receiver category, I give it to Wisconsin. Quarterback, I'll give it to South Carolina. Right now, I'm going to go with Wisconsin by 1 point, but that could change tomorrow. This is probably my favorite bowl game outside of actually this is probably one of the more looking forward bowl games besides the Mizzou game, of course. Outback Bowl, Iowa versus LSU. Last time these 2 teams played in a bowl, Iowa won on a Hail Mary. It was 2005. I'm gonna go with LSU. Jennings looked. He only had like 2 drives, but he looked good against Arkansas. Can throw the deep ball, and they got talented wide receivers. Um, I don't know. I don't know if Rudock and the Iowa offense will be able to put up some points against LSU's defense, but we'll see. Rose Bowl, Stanford versus Michigan State. I'm gonna go with Michigan State here, and I don't ask me why. I think it's gonna be a very physical game, like everyone's saying. You don't need me to say that to, like, oh shit, it's gonna be a physical game. It's gonna come down to quarterback play. Who can play better? And I think Kevin Hogan's has been just hasn't been very good this year, not compared to last year when he really led Stanford toward the end of the year. So I'm going to go with Michigan State. Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, UCF versus Baylor. UCF is a non-conference team for Mizzou next year, so that's an intriguing game, especially if Blake Bortles doesn't go to the draft. But I'm going to go with Baylor by 2 touchdowns. Not because UCF's bad necessarily, just because I think Baylor's really talented. I think they're going to come out really motivated for Art Briles. But I will put a caution there. If Briles leaves before then, which I don't think he will, but then we'll see what happens, and I would go with UCF. In the Sugar Bowl, Oklahoma, Alabama. Again, the key to this game, this is the key to a lot of bowl games. Will Alabama come out hungry, wanting to win? I think they will, and I think Alabama wins by quite a few, and I think it's a pretty handily game. But if they don't, this could happen like what Utah happened a couple years ago. So, you never know. Discover Orange Bowl. You got, Clemson versus Ohio State. I'm going to go with Ohio State. I think they'll just be pissed off they lost to Michigan State. And I think when Clemson goes up against elite teams, they don't do very well. And that's not like me just being biased because I don't like Clemson personally, just because it's true. But I do think Taj Boyd and Sammy Watkins will come out and have a very strong game. This could be another very entertaining, high-scoring game. AT&T Cotton Bowl, Oklahoma State versus Mizzou. I don't even have to tell you who I'm picking in that one. I'll give more of an analysis in that game later. The Compass Bowl, Vanderbilt versus Houston. I've had a lot of fun with Vanderbilt fans today. Hey, if you guys are any of you watching this, hi guys. On the Vanderbilt revealed video against Tennessee. But anyway, Vanderbilt's been having a great year. Besides a few slip ups against A&M and Mizzou. They even played South Carolina pretty tough. So I'm going to go with them over Houston, but Houston could give them a challenge. GoDaddy.com Bowl, Arkansas State versus Ball State. I saw Arkansas State play earlier this year against Mizzou. They had a very good passing attack. Their running back looks solid, so I'm going to go with Arkansas State just because I've seen them a lot more in one whole game than Ball State. BCS National Championship, Auburn versus Florida State. I'm going to have to go Florida State. And I'm going to go with them by a score of 45-31. I don't think they'll shut down Auburn's offense, but I think they'll shut them down enough to really take a hold of this game. Thank you guys for watching. These are my bowl picks. It should be a great bowl season. Good luck to your teams. This is Missouri Kid. Go Tigers. MIZ. ZMU.